Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Thursday, March 21st, 2024. I'm just going to check if my sound is alright because he has a tendency, my laptop, to just switch back or dial it back. That's what happened last time with my videos. So I do, program it before I start, but during the video sometimes it just goes to another setting. A lot lower and a lot less clearer, so to speak. So if I'm not mistaken, everything is fine. Let's see. Got a lot of things I want to talk about. First of all, I didn't put it in the recap, but in my Dutch live, I actually looked at the visit that the King Willem and Queen Maxima were supposed to visit Vietnam, but it was postponed, or it was kind of like it didn't, they didn't go. So it was very interesting. I looked at it with the cards and I saw that they weren't allowed to go. That's what I got from the cards. And interesting enough, I saw an article, I believe it was yesterday already, of course, after my live, and this was about the president of Vietnam is actually resigning. So the Vietnam president Von Van Chong is allowed to resign from the Communist Party, has decided that he's allowed to do that. So the parliament still has to agree with that, but that's mostly likely is going to happen Thursday, and then he is allowed to resign. So that's why they were not going there, because obviously there's going to be another president. Interesting. So it really fitted very well with what I got from my card reading. Another thing, the Irish Prime Minister Varadkar is also resigning. Most likely has to do with that great thing they try. They try to change things in the constitution, change words. They're really good with that. That's their agenda. And the Irish people were like, no, not on my watch. It's not going to happen. So obviously that was a huge blow for the Prime Minister, and now he's resigning. Interesting. So things are happening. Another thing that is a show now, it's called Climate the Movie. I put it on my Telegram channel so people can watch it. It's very interesting that this is actually completely against what they're saying about the climate. That agenda with everything has to do with the climate. So I'm very happy that there are other sounds heard now and bringing out their voices, showing a completely different side. So you can watch it on Telegram. I put it on my Telegram channel, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere else as well. That's important. Another thing here in the Netherlands, and I think this is a documentary that is also shaking up everything, a lot of things in America, and I think this is so important. This is a documentary about Nickelodeon, and it's called Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, and I think it's very important that this is being shown, that people are aware of that, because awful things have happened, still kind of happening, I think most of it. They're cleaning up all these things, but people need to know what's been happening with kids' TV, all the people that were allowed around those children, and I think this is very important. It's also being broadcasted here in the Netherlands, but I'm sure people around the world there are ways to, of course, see this documentary as well, but it's important that this is coming out and people are aware of what's been going on in the showbiz concerning children, and this is so necessary for the bigger puzzle, the bigger pieces. It's like a puzzle. It needs to be put into place so people see the bigger picture and starting to realize what's been happening with children on an enormous scale and the horrific things that have been happening for such a long time. So it's very important that this is coming out now. And let's see. In this video, I first want to take a look at an article, and this says cut submarine cables cause web outages across Africa. 6 countries still affected. So a submarine apparently cut some cables, and 6 countries still are affected by this. And first it was 13 countries across Africa experienced internet outages on Thursday due to damage to submarine fiber optic cables. Some countries, including Ghana and Nigeria, are still suffering from nationwide outages. So this is an article from the 15th of March. So that was, I think, last week that this happened, and it's still some countries are affected by this. Very, very interesting. So the feeling I got from this is that this has to do with cleaning, cleansing, clearing up things. Interesting enough, this kind of card kind of fell out of my deck or kind of, flipped over. That's the Ace of Wands. So I got a yes to that. This has to do with clearing up things. So, of course, in Africa right now, so many things are happening. A lot of countries there that were connected to France are throwing out all these French influences. Russia is also playing a part there, trying to, get rid of all these influences from the dark energies. At least that's how I see things. So this is the first card. It's the King of Cups. For the central card, we've got the Eight of Swords. In the past, we have the King of Pentacles. Underneath the Eight of Swords, we've got the Seven of Swords. And interestingly enough, for the future, we've got the Emperor and the High Priestess. This means to me that the military are taking over more and more. It's still veiled. There's a veil across it, so it's not going to be very obvious yet. High Priestess is about secrecy. It's all on the background, but they are really taking over and really getting rid of all these dark influences. Of course, this leads to feelings of being powerless because people cannot connect and internet... phone lines, people from other countries want to reach their family and it's almost impossible to get to them. So there's a lot of frustration and feeling powerlessness, feeling like they're not in control. But this is really necessary to get all these dark energies that are trying to get away with things, making sure they don't get away with it anymore. Especially with the Emperor in the future. This is done by the Whiteheads, I believe. Of course, it's completely up to your perspective. I believe they are really taking in, making sure all these energies are not going anywhere, but it's still secretive. Veils are being placed. People are not completely seeing the picture. They come up with this excuse that apparently a submarine is responsible for that. I don't believe that's the case. So that's the feeling I'm getting from what's happening now in Africa. This is clearing, cleansing, getting rid of all these dark energies. And yes, it will lead, of course, it will feel now for a lot of people, they can connect with family around the world, that it feels, very not in control, feeling powerless. And probably the dark energies are feeling powerless as well, because a lot of things, they had a lot of influences there. And it's really... people there are taking back their power and taking back their right to decide for themselves. So a lot are happening there. The other thing I want to take a look at is April 8th. I wasn't really going to take a look at it because, there's a solar eclipse. So much going on, so much things are being said about that. And also that there are school districts closing down. And really, they're doing this because there are going to be a lot of people there. So they're like, they are closing in anticipation of an influx of totality chasing travelers clocking the roads. That's really why they're closing, due to safety concerns and operational issues. They don't want to get people stuck in traffic, children stuck in traffic. So they've decided to just close it down. That's really the reason behind this. I truly believe that as well, though, there's things coming out that are going to, all kinds of things that could happen at that day. To be very honest, the first feeling I got is energetically, a lot of things are going to change. I'm not really sure that, something outside is going to happen, but it is an 8th. We know that on the 8th of the month, things can happen. But, the cards I got for this, first of all, was very interesting, was the Devil card. The central card was the Ace of Pentacles. So that's a yes, that it's most likely energetically going to be very, very powerful. We've got the Queen of Wands in the past. So the Whiteheads obviously been working with this as well. we've got the Six of Swords, moving away from things. And for the future, we have the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. So to me, this feels that this is energetically is going to be so important to take down all these dark energies also inside of ourselves, you know, certain hurt things that we still carry with us. I think it's going to be a very, very tough day. So especially energetically, I'm not sure if other people noticed, but yesterday I was completely knocked out. It's like I really had to drag myself through the day. I'm not sure if more people noticed it. It was energetically such a heavy energy, and I think we're going to reach that with the solar eclipse. It's going to be very important. It's really a new beginning. And energetically, when things change, we're going to see that in around us. So April 8th, I think energetically is going to be the biggest impact. So not necessarily in outside things, though things can happen, but that's not the feeling I'm getting, that that's going to be the emphasis. The emphasis will be energetically, and everything starts energetically, and then we're going to see it in the outside world, moving away from all these dark energies, moving away from the old. And this is very beautiful. It's about connection, and I believe that the more we connect with ourselves, and April 8th will be an incredible opportunity to truly connect with our soul, with God, with our intuition. And by doing that, we are connecting with humanity, because we're all connected. But the important part is, especially, being a lot of people that are in this, this dealing with these things, are aware, are conscious, trying to change things, working with themselves, usually grow up very lonely. At least that's my own personal experience, and didn't fit in with my family and things like that. And loneliness can be something that you're used to, and loneliness is really not completely connecting with yourself. Most of us have brought in a lot of things we want to heal now, especially from past lifetimes, future lifetimes, because ultimately there is no time. And this is the opportunity, this great awakening, to awaken everything and to heal everything. So I think April 8th will be an incredible opportunity energetically to heal a lot of things that may be still in ourselves, but also just as humanity, healing all these dark energies that have been attached to us, manipulating us. And by connecting with ourselves, we are connecting with everyone else, because we are all connected. That's the Three of Pentacles. And I think the constant change will be working together more and more and connecting more and more. So I do see this as a beautiful opportunity. Doesn't mean that nothing's going to happen, but I'm not sure if it's going to be as drastic or radical that I see in some messages. I believe it's energetically it's going to be an incredible step ahead. That's the feeling I'm getting. So we'll of course have to wait and see, but that's what I got for now, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.